Government is confident public schools are ready to reopen. Teachers and staff have been preparing to receive pupils for the last 2 weeks. However, Basic Education Minister Angie Motshekga says there are over 16,000 learners still waiting to be placed. Let's go over to our reporter Monique Mortlock, who is at one of the many people at schools across the country, and find out how it's looking there. Monique.
Good morning, Jane. Well, here at Woodville Primary School, everything seems to be in place. When my colleague and I arrived here, the first thing we were told is we need to get your temperatures checked. We had to sanitize, and we saw all of the staff members entering the school gates, also going through that COVID-19 safety protocols that we've all become accustomed to. As you know, staff members at schools have had several weeks to prepare. But to tell us more about these preparations, we have with us the principal of Woodville Primary School, Mr. William Page. Sir, you've had several weeks to prepare. What type of preparations have been put in place for the return of the pupils?
Well, in honesty, our preparation started last year already with the school budget, when we set aside some funds for much needed PPE. And then this year, last year the PPE was ordered. It arrived last week. And so our learners have the necessary masks available, as well as sanitize and so forth, as you experienced this morning. The protocol team has, with the assistance of the teaching assistants, worked through the plan, how we want to engage with our parents and learners when they arrive, as you've experienced. So that is one of the things that was paramount to us. And then, of course, our teachers arrive at around 7:15 to log in, and then they are in their classes at 7:30, so that they may receive the learners, so that nobody is loitering on the school grounds. And that is also another aspect in terms of our safety, that learners are not left unattended. So in terms of our protocols, we are very pleased. We are thankful that PPE has been purchased. It's on premises, it's on site. So when we need it, it's available to us.
And just quickly tell me about some of the lessons that you've had to learn over this last year. It's a different time to be a principal and to start a new school year. What are some of the lessons?
One of the big lessons that I've learned is that last year we focused a lot on the processes, making sure that kids are safe, teachers are safe, and we neglected the emotional side of things. So this year already we've had one session with our district colleagues who came, our school psychologists who came to have a session with our staff, just to engage with them and to allay some anxieties and fears that they may have. We had some team building activity on Friday afternoon as well, some amazing race here at the school. It was fun to have colleagues running around and laughing and engaging with each other, of course still with the protocols in place. So that's one of the major lessons that we've learned, that one needs to look after the emotional well-being of our staff as well. And sometimes, we hear a lot about the children, and unfortunately sometimes the teachers are left out of that equation. So from that point of view, we've made it sure that we can look after our staff emotionally.
That was Mr. William Page, the principal of Woodville Primary School, speaking there about that emotional, the importance of that emotional well-being of staff as well as the pupils when they return today. And we are seeing some of the first pupils coming into the school.
I should imagine they're really excited. Let's pop over now to Durban. Mawanda Keswa is standing by there. And what are you finding out this morning, Mawanda? How excited or concerned are people?
But they on our intro, sir. Yes. No, it's fine because I'm here. We will proceed with today. The questions that I was asking.
Yes, I can hear you. We are at the Anton Lembede MSc Academy, and today marks the official opening of the school. We understand that the school is a technology-centric institution where the aim is to equip learners and make them embrace the fourth industrial revolution. We understand that the school cost about 252 million to put together. It currently can occupy at least 600 learners, and we also do understand that it was conceptualized by the Minister for Public Service and Administration, Senzo Mchunu, who at the time was the MEC for Education in the province. We are awaiting for the Premier to arrive, as well as the MEC for Education in the province, Kwazim Shengu. I'll quickly just move out of picture for you to get a view of the administration block in which, when the learners do arrive at the school, that is where they go through. We have been able to spot some learners. It is a normal day, a schooling day, the reopening of schools, and the learners are currently in their classrooms and learning has commenced.
Right, let's leave it there, Rwanda, and pop over to Germiston, I believe. And Mangopa is there, and you are looking at the MEC, Panyaza Lesufi, is going to be pitching up at some stage. What's the message?
Well, certainly, Jane, a lot of excitement here, especially for parents as a school reopened here in the province. Of course, the province saying that they're expecting over 1.5 million learners to return to school today. And they're saying that they will be ensuring that this is under very strict COVID-19 regulation, given that we are still under lockdown 3 of those regulations and on the second wave of the pandemic. So you can certainly see behind me, Jane, some of those pupils arriving here this morning, many of them, of course, wearing their mask, and there is strict COVID screening that is taking place here at this particular school. The MEC is expected to arrive here, as you've correctly mentioned, and he's coming here alongside with the Premier, David Makura, to launch at this particular school, which you do understand is one of the 3 schools that have been revamped by the Department of Education for the province. So it will be taking in new learners for the first time in this academic year. But in terms of the preparation, the school readiness, the MEC last week saying, Jane, that it's all systems go here in Gauteng. They're expecting learners to return to class to start the 2021 academic year. And he says that this will be done on a rotational basis, where learners will have to come in at different times to attend those particular lessons. But in terms of COVID-19, we do know that preparations have also been made in terms of that, with some of those personal protective equipment having been delivered in the weeks prior to the opening. We do understand that grade 1s as well as grade 8s will receive their masks, as well as some of those essential equipment that's needed. The schools have been equipped with hand sanitizers as well as liquid soap, and also teachers will be given face shields to also ensure that they're able to start with teaching and learning today.
Thanks, Mangopa. I mean, it really is exciting, isn't it, as kids head back to school, and we're going to be focusing on this story for the rest of the day, as you can imagine, to see how prepared schools are or not.